go.
What's up, everybody? This is What Kind of Black NerdCast is this, episode 50. I may be rusty, but god damn it, I still fucking got it. Shit! I still got it. Oh, fuck. That felt good. I had to shake the rust off. Yeah, it was a little dirt on me. Go ahead, Kyle. Knock that off for me. Go ahead. Knock that off for me. Thank you.
If only they heard the before we started recording.
It's like a record scratch.
As you can see, I got a new mic going on, so I had to make some adjustments.
Y'all got new mics in this bitch.
Because it was throwing me off. Like I was like stuttering like the kid. Like I mean.
Have you ever seen when Will Ferrell got shot with a tranquilizer in Old School?
Yeah, that was me. But this is the second podcast of 2021. We have made it. Our president is about to change. And well, actually, when this comes out, our president should be changing on that day. We're getting rid of one asshole for another old guy. But luckily, he has a decent captain. On to nerd news. More importantly, wait, I got to introduce my family. I'm a little excited, so excuse me. So, without further ado, let me introduce one of the ladies of our crew. One of them is missing at this moment in time, but hopefully we'll see her later on. Is she Black or Asian? Lucia, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
All right. I hope we can cheer you up. All right. The Beatmaster in the, is that pink or fuchsia? What is that?
It's red. It's
a red.
Very bad.
It looks like pink on my end too.
The faded red gangster, the Beatmaster Tesla, who has an awesome beat coming out, I believe next week.
It's out right now.
It's out. Oh,
yeah,
the big O beat is crazy. Y'all got to hear it.
That didn't help. Just keep going.
But how are you doing, JayTezla?
I'm good. It was a good weekend.
That's good. Oh, and then the one with his pinky up, the one and only, Little Sweets. What's up, Kayos?
For the 50th time. me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what you have here is a collection of 4 actual nerds that can give you everything you want between wrestling, TV shows, music,
right make him
movies.
fuck up.
We are the Black Nerdcast. Welcome to the 50th episode.
Yes.
You know what's funny? He got to 50 and fucked it up. It's what kind of Black Nerdcast is this?
That's because some people are talking while I was doing it.
Oh yeah. And
give them thanks.
So if you're new to us, we're gonna break it down with a little bit of news, and then we're gonna get into our main topic, what happens to be WandaVision. So you want to take us away, Kayos, with the news?
I didn't know we were doing news, so I didn't prepare for that part. But I will just, if you're a long-time viewer, thank you, welcome. I'm just gonna do what I normally do around this time, and that's shit on the DCEU. So it was recently reported that Zack Snyder's Justice League will now be a 4-hour movie, not a miniseries, not cut into 4 one-hour parts, but it'll be one long 4-hour film. I do not care. I will begrudgingly watch just so we can do the episode. I'm out.
So
I'm not doing that.
We should do it as a drinking and smoking game. So like every time you feel yourself getting ready to punch the camera, you smoke or you drink.
That's alcohol poisoning, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the issue I have with this is among a myriad of things is when is this gonna drop? Because WandaVision will probably finish around maybe end of February. They're probably going to do a Marvel's Legends for Falcon and Winter Soldier the same way they did for WandaVision, a 2-parter. And Godzilla vs. Kong drops on March 27th. Falcon and Winter Soldier drops March 19th. When is this dropping? Because it has to be on a Friday. So
I remember them originally saying it was supposed to be in April, but I imagine they're going to want to push that up because they want to at least keep content, at least something new every month, I would imagine.
And with Netflix, which we'll talk about later, Netflix is dropping a movie every Friday. So when
not necessarily a good movie, but they're dropping a movie every Friday.
Yeah, some of them are pretty. The list looks pretty good. I will say that. I've lost the will to care about DC, and now my goal is just to shit on them at any opportunity I get a chance. I just saw someone saying, "Thank God." Someone wrote in a comment saying, "Thank God the Snyder Cut is dropping early because WandaVision sucked ass." And
You just didn't get it.
And
I've seen people say that. I know we'll get into that later, but I've seen people say that. I'm like, they told you what it was gonna be before it ever happened. So we knew the first 2 episodes were gonna be black and white, and the whole series pretty much was gonna be an homage to classic TV.
Mm-hmm.
So what didn't you get?
The biggest issue I have with this is that they just announced a new character is being put in this movie, which is Ryan Choi, who is the second Adam. Where in that movie was Adam even needed?
Where in that movie could you even fit it? That's my problem with this in totality. You're making a new film. Just say that. Don't say it's your cut when you're adding in characters. And also, we've heard that Jared Leto's version, the Joker, might be making an appearance.
Oh, he will be.
Nowhere in the first Justice League film, in the original Justice League film. So you're just making a new film. It's like using leftover food and serving it and saying it's a brand new meal.
So
it's not.
The issue I have with this is that, and I'm reading this now, is that Snyder has stated that his version of Justice League will not be set in the same continuity as Whedon's version. Momoa has said that Aquaman is Zack Snyder's Justice League version and not Whedon, and so has Patty Jenkins. And she's also stated that no DC director considers Whedon's Justice League canonical. So, the way I understand this,
how do you do that? How do you do that though?
So, the way I understand this is a big fuck you to Josh Whedon.
He doesn't deserve that.
He doesn't, because I'm like, the dude did y'all a solid.
But
like, he didn't have to come in.
And you know that's weird. And we're gonna talk about Ray Fisher in a minute. But if they're all saying fuck you to him, why are they treating Ray Fisher like shit?
That's my question. Because if the movie that came out before is not canon to the series whatsoever and what's going forward, why even call it Zack Snyder? Just call it Justice League.
Well, don't even call it Justice League. Call it something else, abbreviated, because Gal Gadot is not reshooting anything. So all the scenes that we have with her in the original film are still going to be in this one. Then they're adding in new characters and expanding roles and doing things that they only storyboarded and didn't even shoot. They're adding that in. So why not just make it a different film if you're going to still bring back some of the same actors? You're bringing back Ben Affleck. You're bringing back Ezra Miller. You're bringing back Jason Momoa. If you're bringing them back, just shoot something different. That way it at least adds to the original story instead of trying to make a hodgepodge of the shit you got. Lou, you shit on this a couple days ago. What do you think?
Care about this? I don't care anything about this. Y'all sitting here talking. I'm like, all right, when we get into WandaVision, because
all right, is there any more news that is entertainable for us to talk about before we get into WandaVision?
The Batwoman premiered about an hour and a half ago.
You said entertainable.
So there was the news dropping this week that Chris Evans will be returning to play Captain America for we don't know what yet.
Nomad, baby.
America's ass.
I'm going to call this now, just because I feel as though this is what they're going to end up doing based on what happened with WandaVision. I think he will be playing Captain Hydra. I think he will be an evil version of Captain America, and will either be in a Dark Avengers movie or in a Young Avengers movie as the main lead, as the main villain, rather. It would be perfect because Captain America's the heart and soul of the team. You're not going to bring Tony back unless he's an Ironheart. So it would be perfect to make him the villain that knows.
Not necessarily. The fact that they brought Evans back and the fact that he's from all the reports have said, has signed on to return at least in some capacity as the same character.
Right.
I don't rule out Robert Downey Jr. come back, because if anybody was steadfast in saying they weren't done with this series, it was Chris Evans.
Right, but it's Captain America, so it can still be a Captain America under Hydra rule. It doesn't have to be. That's the only real I can see them do with his character, because he has never played a villain
as
before.
of now. Kevin Feige just said it's a shame that Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man won't be able to meet the Fantastic Four.
I think honestly,
stuff like that gives me.
I think the fact that he said that, I'm like, that means that's a wrestling thing. That's and for our friends that are wrestling fans, like the majority of us on this show, that's like when you're cutting a promo and you say the guy's name and 3 seconds later his music hits and you turn. Like that's a lead up right there. The fact that he says that, and you cannot, I don't care what you do, you cannot introduce Reed Richards to this franchise and not have some type of interaction with Tony Stark. You can't. That is just that is on a level of them not getting Spider-Man. That's on that level of just a missed opportunity for a comic book fan. And plus you have all of the Illuminati now. That's what Phase 5 could lead up to. You have Black Panther. You will have a
They do.
You will have a Namor with that, because we all know that's coming. You will have you can have an Inhuman if you want. I mean, they've introduced the Inhuman, so you could have Black Bolt come back or reintroduce them. You can do the Illuminati right now, and that is the main thing. Where, like we just said, they could be the villains of the Dark Avengers or Secret Wars film. All the proteges have to go against their masters.
There was the announcement this week that Ethan Hawke will be the main villain for Moon Knight. As someone that reads a lot of comics, I have no idea who the fuck he could be playing. But the fact that Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke to do a Disney Plus show is rather big. Daredevil has apparently wrapped Spider-Man 3, which is leading everyone to believe that he'll be the lawyer for Peter in the next movie, which they still have not shown anything off that movie. They've shown off Cherry. They've shown off one of his other movies that no one cares about with Daisy Ridley. But Spider-Man 3 has not gotten any.
That come out already? Chaos Walking.
I think that comes out in May. But
damn, they filmed that shit like years ago.
Yeah, so they haven't shown anything off from that. Other than that, nothing really big has happened. I don't feel like talking about Ray Fisher again, because that's a dead puppy. I'm just kicking at this point. Yeah, I can't think of anything else news. While HBO Max did a big sizzle reel showing off Godzilla vs. Kong, which looks
Godzilla
amazing.
vs. Kong, man, I can't wait to see that.
They showed off a bit of Mortal Kombat, which I'm hesitant on.
I find it weird that they showed the stills but still didn't drop a trailer.
It was a bit of a sizzle of just Sub-Zero like making his ice blade, but other than that, in that big sizzle reel, but other than that, the only thing that really gave me cause to pause in the pictures they showed was the Sub-Zero versus Scorpion thing, because you see Sub-Zero is literally trying to stab Scorpion with his own kunai from the Get Over Here kunai. That means he caught the motherfucker and is getting ready to stab him with it.
Which is something we didn't see in any of the movies, so that's something you can do in the game.
Fuck to do. Cool. But they showed that. I'm trying to think, was there anything else that really happened? Netflix had their big a rollout of movies that they're dropping every week, which looks ridiculous. One of them is a Scorsese film with Jennifer Lawrence and DiCaprio in it. A lot of the films that they showed, yeah, him. But a lot of the films that they showed on that list could be Oscar winners, because a lot of them were films that were supposed to come out last year.
Man, fuck the Oscars. I ain't trying to hear shit about no Oscars. I don't
care about the Oscars. I'm just saying a lot of them are big films.
I don't care about voting for that shit. I'm just trying to see good movies.
I just want to see when they actually have the nominations, because you're gonna have to nominate Sonic the Hedgehog and Bad Boys for Life, and that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, and if they don't, there's just they full of shit. And
exactly, like you ain't going against your rules. Like everything stopped in March. So you got Sonic, Bad Boys for Life, Birds for Prey. That's it.
Oh, you were
I
so
did see
wishy-washy. Not too long ago, you were saying that was a good film. Now you booing it. I see how you
It's
is.
good. It's good for DC.
I see how
I
you
did see
is.
Regina King.
Think about the last couple
as well,
DC
too.
films we had. We had Wonder Woman, Birds of Prey.
What?
That's the last two we had.
Birds of Prey was better than 84.
Yeah, Birds of Prey kept me more interested than Wonder Woman did.
The fuck?
I'll say this: I did have more fun with Birds of Prey than Wonder Woman 84.
That's because you saw it with me.
I don't know what type of endorsement that is, but
technically, you two fell asleep. So
I was awake. It was him.
I seen the full movie. I got it. I even got it on a DVD in Blu-ray. So that's how much I enjoyed them film.
It was like, when do we get to WandaVision? Let's go.
All right, I asked for time, but the time guy hasn't given me time, so I'm trying to balance it out. But since there isn't any more interesting news besides the most important thing we want to talk about, let's talk about WandaVision. Oh, don't let everybody get gun shy now.
Lou, you want to give the synopsis of the first episode?
Let's open it up, Miss. I've seen it twice.
Wait, what am I supposed to say?
Oh my God! How do you feel about the show so far?
What do you think of WandaVision?
I actually loved it. I am a really big fan of those old shows. I loved Bewitched. I stayed up late to watch Bewitched. I loved I didn't watch the Dick Van Dyke Show. I didn't, but that's because it came on after Bewitched, and I usually was asleep by the end of Bewitched.
That was like 1:30 on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
That was old school shit.
Oh, remember going to sleep at 1:30 and not having no care in the world? Oh, that was good days.
And at 2 a.m. that was the Gilligan's Island block, man.
But yeah, I thought it was amazing. Like, I love the show. Love it. I thought that there were a lot of little callbacks to other stuff, and I really enjoyed just finding. That's why I watched it twice, because going and finding little things and little stuff that you miss. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. We could go in detail about stuff, but I guess other people need to talk too. So.
Floor is yours, lady. Floor is yours.
Oh, I mean, we gonna analyze the whole show? I mean, because we can definitely do that. Nobody else wants to say anything first.
We only 20 minutes in, and we got 2 episodes to talk about.
My thought process with this show was, the first episode had me saying, "What the fuck is going on?" 15 times. So I'm like,
yep.
What the fuck is even the title screen? Like when the Marvel Studios things came up, and trust me, hearing that music again and it being an original property, something new, made me feel happy again. But then when it switched to black and white, I'm like,
I love that. I love that.
What's going on? And then the way the episode was sketched out, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I watched every trailer. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And when the switch happens in the show, I'm like, what is this? What the hell am I watching? It felt like watching Legion again. I'm like, am I watching Legion or am I?
I've heard a lot of people compare it to for people that aren't familiar with it or might find it weird. I've had a lot of people say they compare it to Legion. I ain't watched the first 4 episodes of Legion. I was out with that shit, but I get the parallel.
But when switch happens, I'm like,
parallel?
Huh?
Okay, so Legion was the personification of a mindfuck of a show. Like, from beginning to end of an episode, you were mindfucked. You couldn't, there was so much stuff going on at the same time. Characters, who was who, what was going on, and then for them to show you something and then jump forward and then jump back, you didn't know what was going on, who was doing what, and it was just a lot of shit going on. And then each episode had a definition of kind of explains the episode, but it was so complex. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then when you go through the episode, it kind of explains it, but you're inside the pretty much the psyche of a man who has multiple personalities.
And to be fair, when we go into spoilers, the first 2 episodes kind of had that too. The first episode was about the anniversary, and the second episode was about the children. And it just keeps going forward. The second episode to me was the best because once it ended, I'm like, okay, I know what's happening. I know who's doing this. I know who the villain is. I know how they're going to tie this into everything in the MCU. I'm good. Let me just see how this else is going to go.
I liked it.
Before you get there, well, go ahead. Kayos? Because I was just saying before we get to that part, I just want to everybody's first initial reaction.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm a child of television, so I love television. I love the tropes of like old school TV shows that worked, and this appealed to me. Like I really don't like black and white television. Like the only things I ever watched in black and white were I Love Lucy and Bewitched, and this appealed to me. And then as a TV fan, I liked it because I've watched a couple analyzing videos of it, and nobody's really made this thing. They switched houses in between episodes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's something they would do on TV shows with no explanation. You would have one house on one episode in the pilot, and then the next episode, it's a brand new house, nothing said. And I loved how I'm watching. I'm like, that stairwell wasn't there before. Oh, they switched houses. Mm-hmm. I like this. I like them both. I like the first episode. I think Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen actually really do have great chemistry together. Mm-hmm. And I think that really comes across in the work they're doing because especially the conversations, even though especially like the first episode, it did seem like old school 50s with the jokes and stuff. You could tell it was really like a chemistry between them where it felt natural. The second episode was my favorite because Paul Bettany actually really got something to do. Usually as Vision, he just kind of plays the android. I don't understand this, or the straight man. Mm-hmm. He got to really actually show his comedic ability, and
I was laughing my ass
off. Shit in the whole
I was laughing my ass off at that stuff, man.
I'm like, nigga, what are you doing?
When he shows up to the magic show, the talent show, and his hair is disheveled and shit, I just start busting out laughing. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. And to have Elizabeth Olsen, who's usually the one that says the kooky stuff, have to be the straight man in the situation, I think really added to it because you've never seen those characters act like that. And that's something I'm glad they're doing with this TV show. They're not just giving us the same thing we saw in the movies over the years. They're showing us different sides of the characters, and it is adding to it because now you're really feeling like these are fleshed out characters because Vision and Scarlet Witch didn't get that much to do in the MCU so far. I mean, we know who Sam is, we know who Bucky is, we know who, Natasha is, but we really don't know these characters. So I think they're really doing good by letting you see different sides of these characters in their own show.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I watching it from beginning to the end for the first two episodes, I was like grinning from ear to ear. Like I smiled the whole time. Like everyone said, like used to watching the old shows growing up. Like I did. Hell, even when they got their own channel, I used to watch it on their own private channel. I can't remember the name of that channel, but yeah, I used to watch it on there. I think each episode was like a masterpiece of its own for like being period pieces. And it's kind of like the evolution of TV. And I knew that was going to happen. I was explaining it to my wife because we watched it together. And she was like, so why is it in black and white? And I said, it's a period piece. They're going to different time periods in TV. So, it's going to change. Like at the end of the last episode, the second episode, it finally goes into color. So, and then it was all the stuff that's going on. You got people that we know are other people on the show, and they're saying they're this and that. Their name is this. And then you got Agnes saying, like, how can you even do this sober? So it was like, it's so much stuff going on. And then, like, the whole cutting of the hand and then seeing, like, stuff be red.
That was a shock too when I saw that. I didn't expect that shit. Like that was a good like jump scare almost.
Yeah, then you got the red toy. You got and then you what else? I guess the phone or the radio. You can hear someone calling out to.
Which I don't think that toy is a toy.
That's what she said.
Oh my God.
Lord have mercy. As we continue,
me and you both like Lou, like just like discuss like.
But no, I like too like the commercials that they've had in between the interludes. The one with the watch.
Oh yeah, the Strucker.
That was just the biggest wink to everybody. Where it's
and then on the inside it said Hail. It said Hail Hydra and inside
and
of
they
it.
Just left it on. I'm like, thank you. I'm like. Some of these other like Easter eggs, I had to watch videos because they were like, I'm not that hip on Wanda and Vision's history. But when I saw that, I'm like, all right.
There was a lot of stuff in each of those commercials, like a lot of stuff in each of those commercials. Like if you look at the watch, for instance, like the hands are that's Loki's scepter. The hands.
Oh.
If you look at what else? I'm sorry. I was really high while I was watching it, so I'm trying to remember everything. Of course, you saw the Hydra thing on there.
Yeah.
Huh? I'm not high right now.
No. I'm saying, the toaster.
I know.
The toaster was a metaphor for something else because it was made by Stark. The toaster is to symbolize the missile that killed their parents. That's what kept beep, like, because it was like, it's almost like a radar seeing the missile coming.
And then I heard somebody say too, when the toes pop up, the sound sounds like Iron Man's repulsors.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
It's all her trauma. It's her trauma fucking with her.
I rewatched it. I'm like, damn, I don't know.
There was some video I watched, and they went through all of that stuff, and I was like, whoa. Yeah, like they were talking about like the toast came out, and supposedly like the toast was like identical. Each one was identical, so it was like the twins. Yeah, so like it was like a whole bunch of stuff.
And then she wound up being pregnant at the end of the episode.
Man, I did not see that shit coming. Like when she looks down and sees that belly.
She became pregnant at the end of the episode.
She's done that before in the comics. Like she created a pocket universe for herself to become pregnant, and Charles had to go inside the pocket universe. Like, you need to stop. This is not real. You've killed half the universe. Leave all this alone now. She's like, no, I refuse to. And even Charles like, I don't know what to do here. I can't stop her. But like, I have an idea who the villain is.
Well, why don't you go ahead and say, because you've said it multiple times. Sorry.
I think it's a 3-man con. I think the villain overall is Mephisto. I think he is the one controlling all of this. Because the town people were already there. There's just a after effect of what's going on. The other two villains are the Grim Reaper.
Because that's what's on Agnes's rope.
Not that. If you go back and watch the second episode again, the cartoon where Vision goes through the walls and he goes down the stairs, the ceiling, you'll see a spider.
Yeah,
that spider isn't. That's Grim Reaper's helmet. Grim Reaper's brother is identical brother is named Wonder Man, who they've shown in the featurette for WandaVision.
And he said he's supposed to probably be in it as well.
He's actually, and if you watch the second episode, when Wanda in the intro, Wanda's in the supermarket, it's something up there, which is funny because originally they actually had Wonder Man in the MCU
as Nathan Fillion.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Nathan Fillion.
Which leads me to my next point.
He's perfect, but
I think Nathan Fillion is in this show, and he's playing Vision. I think because Vision's ability, Wonder Man's ability, is to shapeshift. I believe that they're using this to get something out of Wanda. Something involving her powers is needed by Mephisto.
That's not bad. I mean, there has to be a reason to do this to her. She's partly in on it because, like, at the end of episode,
no, she's fighting against it. She's fighting against because her power. Because, like, even at the end when she's like, no, as she rewinds everything, it's part of her power. I think it's between her and Grim Reaper's power are struggling. Something in between that is causing this to happen because one of Grim Reaper's abilities.
I think she wants to still do this. That's why I think she knows something's going on, but she still feels in control of some of it, and that's why she's rolling with it because she knows Vision's dead,
right?
And like it seems like she's just into this just when we get into it when they're in the car driving up to the house. Like, he's dead. Because
part of Grim Reaper's power I'm looking at now is to induce deep comas, and I think that's what he's doing. He's induced a coma, and her powers are reacting to it. So I could easily see this as a way, and they could use this as a way they could use Wanda like fully like losing it. Like if she has to kill Vision again, her losing it and her creating like openings in space and time to bring different people in. So what happens in Spider-Man 3 with the different Spider-Man showing up, and then Jamie Foxx's character, Jamie Foxx's Electro, and Alfred Molina's Doc Ock showing up. Whatever the hell happens in Ant-Man 3, Black Panther 2, all these different things could happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, then look, she's a major part of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So
right.
This is the lead off into it. So the fact that we're already in an alternate reality shows you that that's going to be the route that they're going to take with this. I mean, that's going to happen with Spider-Man 3. And
I also do think that Monica, she got in via that helicopter. I believe she pushed her way through via the helicopter, and it shrunk in the process, and then she got out because she wasn't in the first episode at all.
I didn't even realize that was the actress until about halfway through because
yeah, she's not in the first episode. So when she showed up in the second one, it's like, where were you in the first one? And then it was like even her lines were like, I knew you were gonna tell me that. So I'm at the like she's I think she's there as like a mental thing, like kind of like they did in Inception. They have like the person that they're targeting, and then they have the team in there to try to subvert things to go the way they want them to go to. So I think she's there trying to figure out what the fuck is going on from the inside, while the team is on the outside trying to figure out what's going on too. But the question is, how is Sword able to see this?
Well, it probably look like a disturbance. From the trailers we've seen, like it looks like it's like a domed area necessarily, right. Like they encapsulated a town. Also, like I'm just thinking about it. Like if Mephisto has control, or whoever else is there has control, when the bitch, and I can't remember her name, but the bitchy neighbor.
I just thought that's what you were leading with for a second. I'm like, God damn, you cut through.
When the bitchy neighbor cut her hand, it was kind of like her snapping out of whatever psychosis.
Right. She was scared. She was like, "What's going on? Can you help me? Like, what's like?"
You know what could be happening too. Remember in Captain America: The First Avenger, they had made an entire fake room to have Steve acclimate himself after his coma. Maybe they, to appease Wanda because they know how powerful she is, they really just staged the town around her, and then she made all of this happen.
The only thing that kills that is at the end of Endgame, she was fine. She was perfectly fine at the end of Endgame, and then this town can't be near there.
But that's not how trauma works.
Line, she was going through some deep shit because she was talking about how she lost everything she ever loved.
Yeah, that's not how trauma works.
She loved, so I mean, she was still going through some shit.
I think it could easily. Yeah. I think it's my biggest thing that it could be Mephisto is that Mephisto is easily trying to get. I think he's trying to. That's the time I think we have right now. I think he is of the mindset like, look, I had this soul in my back pocket, and then the snap undid it, and she was the one person that I need to have. Because Doc, I don't think he ever had Doc Strange's soul. Because even like the lead up, like the write up for Infinity War to Endgame, Doc apparently put himself in the astral plane and stayed there the entire time until he was brought back, which would make sense for him to do. But Wanda doesn't know how to do that, and she gave up. Like when she got snapped, she looked like she just gave up everything. Mm-hmm. And we know Vision is nowhere near America because his body's still somewhere in Africa.
Well, not necessarily.
I would imagine
his physical body is.
No, they could have moved him though. I mean, I'm pretty sure they moved him.
They probably moved him.
Yeah, he just not laying in some field in Africa.
Like they just ain't gonna be like, all right, Siri, can you get that? You got it? All right, thanks. Like Steve's too embarrassed to ask a girl for popcorn. He ain't gonna just leave one of his dead soldiers in a field some fucking where. Like, he gonna take him back to New York.
Yeah.
So they just got Vision in the room somewhere.
He's probably somewhere in Avengers Tower or something like that.
You mean the same one that got blown up during Endgame?
But
still better than being left in a field.
Because Avengers Tower doesn't exist anymore.
Like even though
they have more than one
facility, daisies. Like
they only have the one. They only have the one. They moved everything up to upstate New York.
Well, he's somewhere. Regardless, they posted there, and from what Paul Bettany said, he said they're supposed to disclose where his body is anyway.
Yeah,
in the show. So do we have any guesses what's gonna go on for the rest of the season? Any more?
I believe Doctor Strange will show capacity.
Okay. Do you think more like towards the end or in the middle?
Toward the end, I think from what they've been saying. They said that the last 3 episodes feel like an Avengers movie. So if that's the case, I'm perfectly fine with him showing up at the end and saying, if they're saying that his movie takes place during her series and she leaves with him as the midpoint of his movie, that would be fine for me.
If you really think about all the trailers, from what we've known so far, we known it was going to be 9 episodes. We knew it was going to take place during different eras of TV. We knew we were getting the black and white episodes. We know next week we're going to get the 70s, like Brady Bunch style with where Wanda has the twins. Then the 80s one, that's where you see it looks like Family Ties, where Vision's in the the craftsman shirt. After that, the only other thing we've seen is her in current clothing. So you still have the 90s ish, and then you have all the 2000s, and you still have a couple episodes left. So I think that
Just dropping shit.
I know. I think I think the last 3 episodes are gonna happen basically after the 90s, and that's just gonna be the Avengers 3-hour movie because we haven't seen anything after that. We've seen basically when she kind of snaps out of it, and that's it. So I think they're always good about not showing too much or messing with what we see. I mean, hell, they had a scene in the trailer for Infinity War that was nowhere in the movie, so they know what they're doing with messing with what we're seeing.
Or they CG Thor having an eye when he lost it.
Yeah.
So
I'm just really interested in seeing for this to be they finished this show, Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki, and were like, you're first. Whatever the fuck else is coming, I don't know. Like Lou, I sat there after the second episode was like, I gotta watch that again because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I need help.
And I heard a theory too that the hand you see with that little diode at the television that's watching what we're watching is Darcy, Kat Dennings' character from
that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It said she's in there. We've seen her in one clip that she's a part of SWORD. How she has the credentials for that, I don't know.
She, from what I've read on the side, is that she's made a name for herself outside of being with
Jane.
without being with Jane. What else? I did see someone say that there's a possibility that Wonder Man is supposed to be in this. I know you guys touched on it for a hot second.
That would be cool because I'm a fan of his.
I believe Wonder Man
he's the Marvel Booster Gold pretty much. So he's a fun character.
From the cartoon, I remember Wonder Man. Didn't he have didn't he have someone else's soul in him or something like that?
So Wonder Man is Vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been Vision before, but I believe in this show
Vision is Wonder Man. They took Wonder Man and Wanda were together. Then he died, and they took his brain or essence, and they put that into Vision.
Yeah,
that's why her and Vision have that connection because that's technically her her old boyfriend.
Okay.
So Lou, she's dating a husk.
Nice. I actually don't know I haven't watched any trailers. I wanted to come in this completely blind. I don't know anything about the show. I didn't know what the show was about. I didn't know anything. I wanted to come in completely blind. I didn't even know that it was going to be in black and white. I thought it was I did see something where half of it was in black and white, half of it was in color, but I'm like, I don't even want to know. I just want to watch the show. That's it. I just want to enjoy the show. I had such a shitty 2020. I just want this to be good. I just want, I just need something good. I don't want to know shit about it. I just want to come in and enjoy it. So
that song hit at the beginning, man, that was therapeutic to know that I'm watching new Marvel content.
Exactly. That feeling. Exactly. That feeling is that was what I needed. I needed that.
So from the looks of it, this show is going to end on March 5th. So between that and Falcon and Winter Soldier, you got a week.
I'm good about it.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that. I might be behind because that's probably around my wife's birthday, but I'll make sure I catch it. Regardless.
I don't know. The fact that they're I still can't get over the fact that this show is out now and we don't see her come back until next year.
Well, with the way shit's going, they may try to move that up for the end of the year. Hell, they may try to make that be their Christmas release because they've already finished the movie.
But wait, isn't Spider-Man the Christmas release?
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Okay.
Spider-Man's the Christmas
release.
Look,
I would be perfectly fine if you put Spider-Man and
oh shit,
we're being invaded.
Oh shit,
been invaded.
Hello, Missy.
How are you?
How are you?
Dude. Get the battle music ready.
Oh, won't you tell a little bit about yourself, new incomer?
Likes, hobbies,
My name is
preferences.
I go by Black Girl Marvel. I am the heart and soul of this group. And I was a little late. I like all things. I like all things WandaVision and fun. So yeah.
Yeah, we were towards the end. So won't you tell what you thought about WandaVision?
I thought it was trash. I really didn't like it. I don't see any purpose to it, really. Like,
No,
so I watched the first episode. What?
I'm calling bullshit. I don't believe you. I don't believe you whatsoever.
I'm like, yo.
Not even close.
I'm waiting for it. I'm like ain't no way you're named Black Girl Marvel when you shitting on
that girl was acting.
Just trying to see
like,
how
nice
long
try.
this was gonna go.
Yeah,
It was gonna go for a
How long
minute.
she
It
was
was
gonna
gonna
do
go for
it.
a minute. But as usual, Tez interrupted me in the middle of my stuff. So
I'm sorry, but
there's always one heckler.
true. No, but for real, like I watched the first episode. I actually did a reaction to it, so we'll see how that goes. And I watched the second episode, and I have to watch them again like multiple times because it's such a weird show. Like it has all the makings of like one, it's amazingly produced because I love all those old shows like I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, like Mary Tyler Moore Show, like Nick at Night had me on all those shows. Like I love Lucy and stuff like that. So I loved all those shows. I felt like they hit every beat correctly, like the single camera frame, like all that stuff was like masterful. The acting, the overacting is like perfection. It's so weird though. So it's like, it's just one of those weird, I said that this is going to be like a futuristic throwback, and I feel like that's what this is. It's so weird that I like it. It's like when people like pugs, like they so ugly but they cute.
I
It's
love
like,
it. I love a pug.
you know, so it's like that for me. Like
Feel at
it's
home, don't
weird.
you?
I love it. So
You know what's funny? I had somebody say this, that if you are a fan of Black Mirror, you would kind of like this show. And I think it does kind of almost, if you're watching Black Mirror, it almost kind of feels like a Black Mirror episode.
That's fair.
Like you're in
Yeah.
the middle of it, and
Long as there's no
not
pigs.
everything
oh,
about
so
I
I'm
was
the
about
only
to say,
one who
not the
has
one with the
seen
pig.
Black
I
Mirror.
was just about to say that.
Long as there's no.
I've never seen Black Mirror before. Maybe I'll watch that for my show.
Lie.
Oh,
Watch the
that's
episode with the pig and don't watch anything else.
That's
I'm
the first
dead.
episode. That's the first episode. That's the first
no,
episode.
you gotta watch all of it. You gotta watch all
none of the rest of the
work.
episodes. All the
None of
all the
them.
gold is come after that. Just
The
fuck
pig
it. Just fuck it.
episode, the hotel episode, the love app episode, all of them.
Love
Okay,
that episode.
I'm gonna put Black Mirror on the list. But I enjoyed WandaVision. It's so weird, but deliciously chock full of crap that I love it. So
It feels like the MCU's version of Legion to me. Like
where have I heard that before? No.
I'll let that pass. I'll let it.
No, I love that. I'm looking at the guy who actually has directed it. He's directed a bunch of stuff that everybody's loved. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Good Guys, House, Psych, The Nine, One Tree Hill, Boston Legal, 6 Feet Under,
One Tree Hill, yeah.
Everwood, Mad Men.
He a trash ass director now.
Judging Amy, Revenge, Fargo, You're the One.
Oh, Revenge, that was my shit. Yeah.
Oh man, Judging Amy.
Good Wife, Strange.
Judging Amy was good too. That was my shit.
That was a good
The
show.
Boys, Succession, Game of Thrones, the 7th season, not the 8th season.
Okay.
I'm dead. Just to make that distinction.
The 7th season was trash too. So
It's funny too. Like they said that they actually filmed for the black and white episodes period authentic. So they filmed with the actual cameras they would have used. They brought a live audience in. And I gotta say, man, shout out to everybody in that damn audience, especially the fear of those NDAs, because nobody spoiled anything over the last year.
That's true.
And like those are some strong ass NDAs. Like they must have said, look, you do this, we coming for your family. So
no, that wasn't an NDA. It's a nigga standing outside the house like.
That's Kevin Feige with a blow dart. Where he just like,
oh, not a blow dart. Just a missile. Like, oh, really?
But yeah, I mean, it felt real too. Like watching it, if you're a fan of older black and white TV shows, it felt like that. Especially the first episode, up until like the break where the boss is choking to death, and Wanda just breaks and says, "Vision, help him." Up until that, it felt like a weird ass episode of Dick Van Dyke's show.
Oh, and since you bring that up, that's another point where they break and they're like, "Help me."
Yeah.
So that was another point in the show where they were asking for help, and it was just weird how you just
real voice too. It wasn't like that put upon voice. It was like her real voice. She got like really grounded and was like, "Vision, help him." Like it got really, like she got really grounded.
But even
I meant like the characters around them, because we were talking about the bitchy neighbor when her hand got cut, she freaked out. It was like it was coming out of the psychosis or whatever they was in.
Right.
That was another moment where he was choking.
Right,
where his
it.
wife,
And it was
the wife was
terrifying. I was like,
it's very Get Out-ish, you know.
Yeah.
It's very Get Out-ish, which I enjoy. I enjoy that. Like, so my thing is, I'm thinking to myself, like, so are these people actually real, and she drew them into this world, or are they just a figment of, like, some of these people are just her imagination, like realizing that something's wrong. Like, I'm curious to see how that all plays out. Like, it's so many layers.
We just talked about, my theory is that they basically put her in a town with a bunch of other like people, like agents around her, like kind of like to neuter her, like kind of like when they did when Captain America came out of his coma. They tried to, make sure that he was okay and just didn't freak out. I think that's what it is, because I think that's how Sword is there.
I feel like they have her. I don't feel like they have her placed somewhere, because if they have her placed somewhere, the girl wouldn't have like had recognition that something's wrong. Like, where am I, or what am I doing? I think that they have her tied down somewhere, like in a drug-induced coma, trying to figure out what they need to figure out from her somehow, or something like that.
I also feel like my theory is that it's a town that's been encapsulated in, funny, because even when the trailer is like when they're showing the other parts where the actual time is where it's supposed to be in actual reality, it looks like the town is encapsulated, and all these people who have got sucked into it have been affected by either her or someone else strong enough to entrance all these people to make this town feel as realistic as possible for her. Whether it's Mephisto or someone else, as Tesla has mentioned before.
I thought it was interesting when Monica was like, she was like, "I'm Wanda, what's your name?" And she was like, "I'm Geraldine." Like, she paused so hard, like,
like, your name ain't Geraldine.
It's like, are you in on the bit?
Geraldine,
like,
nigga still.
But I'm mad they named her Geraldine. They're like, I get it, but I was like, Geraldine though. That's like, like having a black man be like, "I'm Cleophas." Like,
what was the black guy's name on? That's on there.
Herbert.
Shit.
Yeah, he was calling him Sherbert. His name was Herbert.
Herbert.
And by the way, the bitchy neighbor, not the bitchy neighbor, but her neighbor, we don't meet her husband whatsoever in the first 2 episodes.
Agnes's husband. Yeah,
I think that's I forget what, it's one classic sitcom where there was a side character like that.
And he does show up,
cousin and her husband, and you never met him. So
I don't think we're ever going to meet Ralph.
I don't think so either.
No.
Ironically,
I think that's what it is. I think he's just going to be like one of the like Maris on Frasier. Like, you always heard of her, but you never saw her.
Yeah.
Or Big Shirley.
Well, we saw her. We just didn't see her.
Yeah.
They showed her once.
Yeah.
Like, it took a minute, but they showed her once. We just never saw her face.
And do we have any ideas who the bee catcher is, or whoever is just coming out the sewer?
Well, he had the sword logo on his back, and I saw a video that actually made a really. If this is the way they're going, it is really cool. In actual real life, if they think that there's a bomb near something and they can't get like a bomb diffusing dog, they will get bees, because bees have some type of sense that can sense where
it's magnetism. It's magnetism.
Yeah, sense it. So the fact that he came out with a beekeeper's uniform on with bees around him meant they might think that there's an external threat of maybe there being a bomb in there with her. So that's the way.
Or she is the bomb.
Or she is the bomb. Like, I was thinking that too. Like, I feel like, because in the first episode where they ended it or whatever, they pulled back and there's somebody in front of a screen watching her. It's
in
like
both episodes. Yep.
Part of me is like, is it like, I'm just saying, this is my thought when I first watched it.
Oh, okay.
That first episode is like, I'm like, okay, somebody's obviously watching her, of course, taking notes. My question is, what are you taking notes for? And what are you trying to, like, does she have a key to something? Is she the key to something you're trying to unlock? Or like, are you in her mind, or are you like literally filming her? And we don't know. Because when they were at the table and the chick asked all those questions, like we're like when do you get married and how did you meet and when you gonna have a kid? Like, she asked her all these, like, I was like, you nosy as hell. Like, relax. And then 2, it looked like Wanda looked off screen, like she was almost fourth wall in it. If you watch that again, it's like she looked in between Vision and the lady and was like looking off at something, like, and then came back to the table. So I was like, that's kind of weird. And I'd be trying to find stuff because it's very interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised if the beekeeper is Grim Reaper in some capacity, because she just looked directly at him and said no, and then stopped everything and went back.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's putting off something about him she does not want to deal with just yet.
Okay.
This is obviously, but I feel like this is her world though.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like it's in her mind and not so much outside.
But they keep saying,
but at the same time, yeah. So
yeah, because she hears somebody talking to her. So,
and that's the agent from
that helicopter that fell down. That was obviously from the outside world.
Yeah,
and she recognized, for one, it was an Iron Man's color scheme and it had the sword logo on it. But like she it's like it sparked something in her. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing this.
What if that's Doctor Strange's voice and it's just too garbled for us to know that it's actually him looking for her or something like that?
That might be something.
That's my theory.
So one of the videos I was watching, it said that they were talking about that part with the radio and the glass and all that stuff. And in the background, because Marvel don't do anything or put any noises in unless there's a reason. So in the background, it's playing a Beach Boys song called "Help Me Wanda" or "Help Me Rhonda."
Mm-hmm.
And Rhonda and Wanda sound alike. And they were like, in the song, there's a line or so that says something like, I was supposed to get married to her. Also, like, the song is supposed to be about like a man getting cheated on by his girl or his wife or something, his girl. And then in the song, it says something like, we were supposed to be getting married, but another man came in between. And technically, Thanos came in between them.
I mean,
literally, like
he murdered her right in front of her, so you can't.
Yeah, and it said we were supposed to be married. I said that was my girl. We were supposed to get married. Like that. Those were the lyrics. I'll have to send y'all the video. I'm gonna look for it again because I don't remember what I was watching.
But if you think about it though, that was their trajectory. Like in Infinity War, he was all like, "Stay with me, be with me." Like that was the natural progression was to like get married, and then Thanos' crew was like, "Nah, we got other plans."
Yeah, because
they were having a nice night until they watched the damn TV and saw.
So they went outside the apartment. Y'all should stay in.
She was right. She listened to the woman. She said, "Let's just stay in."
But
should have put a mask on.
If you think about the anniversary, neither one of them can remember. The anniversary is her killing Vision. Because she doesn't want to say what it is. He doesn't know what it is. So it has to be something that both of them experience together. The only thing I can think of is either the attack in Prague or her killing Vision to get the stone destroyed.
But my question is,
though, like they're like the actual calendar showed the year 2023. Like the calendar had that actual year. That's a Easter egg that I caught the second time I watched. The calendar has 2023 on it.
But also let's remember though, she wouldn't remember killing him because he reversed time and reversed her with it. He didn't take her out of the time, so she wouldn't remember killing him. She would remember Thanos killing him though, and I think that's probably like the anniversaries of him dying, this Vision dying, because she wouldn't remember killing him because he reversed it.
And then it's like Avengers, like I think it's Avengers 230 or something. It's a Vision or Wanda centric comic. Like they play like a lot of the dates they had in both episodes were specific for the characters. I think their house numbers like 2800. I think Avengers like 280 is another episode. It's a comic that's a big Vision or Wanda.
Vision shows up in some comic, and it's like the 23rd comic, and that's the first one Vision is in. It's a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna find that video. All of that was said in there. I was like, "Ooh, smart."
I'm excited. I think it's good. I think everybody's hitting their beats, hitting their marks. I think it's great.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap up. If there was any more last comments, I would love to hear them live before we wrap up.
No.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up. Yeah, DC sucks, definitely. We're gonna wrap up, everybody. So ladies first.
I do have one last thing. My bad. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm sorry. One thing. I don't know if you guys talked about this, but a Disney animator just passed away. He was like 70 years old. His name is Dale Bayer.
Yeah, I saw
that. And he's like, I promise you, he's a part of everybody's childhood. Like he was a part of the Disney like in the 70s and the 80s when they were doing like Black Cauldron and The Rescuers and all that kind of stuff. And then they fired him for a minute. and he came back like at the hilt in the 90s. So he had a hand in like Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Tarzan, like all that stuff. So like he's like a staple, and everybody has such great things to say about him. And so I just wanted to say rip him, and prayers to his wife and his 2 daughters. So yeah.
All right, thank you for that. We are going to close out. Can we get everyone's social media taglines, and where can we find you? We'll start with the last person to come in, Miss La. Will you tell us where everyone can find you?
Sure. Everyone can find me on all social media. That's, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, IG, Twitter, all that jazz, at Black Girl Marvel. I currently will be putting up my WandaVision reactions, and I have a Patreon starting soon, and I will have the full unedited reaction to Wonder Woman, since Warner Brothers had me take it down. So yeah. Follow me on everything.
Marvel hit me with a copyright strike last night when I uploaded the intro. That damn quick, within 20 minutes.
Damn. All right, Lou, where can they find you?
You can find me basically everywhere at Is She Black or Asian? Asian is AZN, and on here and on A Full Cup with Lou and La.
Yes.
That's La. Yeah. Yeah, there, all those places.
Which is really good, by the way. Like, if you notice on your first episode, like I said a bunch of shit on it. I was like in the conversation.
I was like, real talk though. I was like, is that Mark? I was like looking at the picture. I was like, is that Mark? I was like,
yeah. By the way, thanks for following. You followed my
YouTube channel, I appreciate it. And I don't know.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch up on everybody's work and support everybody.
Because I saw the name, I'm like, who the hell? Oh my God, subscriber. Who the hell is that? Oh, that's Mark. I know that dude.
Like his name is like the alphabet. It's like
it's like
I was like, who is this? I was like, who is this trolling my subscribers?
You're
trolling.
I thought you were
Trolling.
Oh, well, thank you.
But I saw the red beard, so I was like, it's him, you guys.
And I sub back. I sub back to your channel too.
I did too. I
appreciate it. There's nothing really on in there. I might put something on. I have no.
Honestly, I feel like you could just talk and have a conversation, and it'll be good content. So.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You weren't on here early.
you missed it. It was. I'm using, as you can see, I'm using a new mic. So I had to.
Don't blame the mic. That was you.
No, I was hearing myself, so it's like myself interrupting myself. So I sound like that little kid who was like, "And I want."
I said. I remember in old school when Will Ferrell got hit with that tranquilizer. That was him.
Oh.
All right, my friend, Little Sweets, Kayos. Where can they find you?
You can find me on all social media. That is Facebook at Kyle Campbell. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube with weekly videos uploaded every week. You can find me on TikTok. I have like 1 or 2 TikToks at Team Kayos, Kayos. I have a blog on WordPress.com, which you should probably have something coming up in the next week. I'm writing an article on something I love in wrestling. And you can find me here on the Wakinda Black NerdCast is this page on Facebook, and like, share, and subscribe on YouTube.
Your audio just like went fire. It just
it's been doing it the whole time we've been on this podcast. So just go up and just.
Thanks for telling me now.
I was like, what's happening?
Thanks for telling me an hour and a half in.
Really?
Because I kept looking at you like, what the fuck?
I was like, I was like, he's assaulting me right now. It's like.
Yeah.
That's why I was, when we first got on, I'm like, how's my audio? Oh, yeah, good.
It wasn't doing that. It didn't.
It really wasn't.
I was the one having all the problems. In Tesla, a gentleman I've spent probably a good part of the day with today via
that's sweet.
The internet on Twitch and stuff like that.
You guys are sweet.
Yeah, he had a great Twitch episode. So this is Sunday.
It's already been copyright written by Facebook and YouTube.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They hate us. Why we great out here? Everybody blocking us.
Yeah.
Facebook is blocking everybody for saying anything remotely like rude. Like a friend of mine got blocked.
So
what had nothing to do with that?
Is that if you have over 35 seconds of audio from anything that's not yours, they will give you 2 chances to take it down. They won't tell you, but they'll just do it. They'll say, "Oh, strike, video deleted," Or what they'll do is they'll fuck you up even more, and they'll have the video stay on there, but then mute your shit in between parts that you can't go in and fix. But
so delete it anyway. And have
good thing Twitch doesn't deal with that too much.
Twitch is dealing with that now, actually. Twitch is
we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
Right. But you can find me at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Snapchat, and
OnlyFans.
No OnlyFans. Not yet anyway.
Parlor.
Nah.
His OnlyFans to be like
only his fans.
Is he ever gonna take off the hoodie? I'm dead.
Show us the nips.
He always got on this. They gonna pay him to take off his red hoodie. Take off the hoodie once,
boy.
You see him every time
for $1.
Hey,
show us the braids.
Right? Why is your head covered up? Like I'm confused.
He has braids, and it's like airy in between his in the lines. Look at it.
Now I realize when he did that. Now I realize he looked like a
You feel that?
Way of the samurai.
Yeah. But you can find me at all those places at JayTezla. JayTezla.bandcamp.com. I'm a power through. JayTezla.nerd.wordpress.com. JayTezla.wordpress.com. You can find me on this fool right here's podcast, A World of Chaos. Eventually, I'll do an episode. I'll maybe guest star on their podcast.
Wait, I'm next to you.
Yeah.
On my screen.
And I'm next to you on.
I'm looking at through my screen. That's why I'm doing that. I'm sorry.
I'm like, wait.
What's going on? On their podcast sooner or later, we're doing something Bleach related on Laz podcast, which we're gonna have a big conversation about that.
Yes, we are.
So yeah.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste.
It's like one of my favorite.
It's only one arc left, you know.
All right, and you can find me, the one and only red bearded gent.
There we go.
Everywhere on you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse.
Oh my God, Clubhouse.
Yes.
Oh shit, he on Clubhouse.
Yeah, have you been up there recently?
If you need an invite, I got you.
The catfishing on there is ridiculous.
Yeah, they're still waiting. Your invite is still pending, Kayos, but still.
Yeah, I got the text. I just forgot to open the damn thing.
I can't do it yet. I don't have an iPhone. So.
You got anything Apple related?
This computer I'm using.
Okay, then I probably can set you up. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Mark McKinney, as well as everyone else. I know they didn't mention it because they got everything else going on, and I'm all by myself now. But what kind of Black Nerd podcast? The group, we're all admins on there for this podcast and much more. You can find me as well with the Blacklist Gamers. There's our Twitch is still live and well on there, as well as there isn't a Twitter for it anymore because I fully took over and just changed the name and everything. You can find me on it.
I just stole it, you know.
It was my shit. It was my shit anyway. I look, as much shit I put on there, I don't probably need to be the face of it anyway. So, but yeah, so that's where you can find this. It has been great. I'm the red bearded gent. You guys have been great.
All year.
Yes, first time. See, if everyone was here on time, I had like intro music for us, but since that didn't happen, we'll try it again next time.
Was it Power Rangers?
No, it wasn't. That'd have been great.
We were going so well, and then we got back to the shade.
Hey, that's my big sis. Know what is up. Know what it is.
Billy, I'm so cold over here.
Yeah.
I
mean, I see the candle in the back. You warm? Yeah.
I get the ambiance.
Wait, it's a candle. Where's the water?
He drank it.
Yeah, that's a lot of water gone.
And you acting real thirsty right now. Let me finish.
Wow.
All right.
When he can bring you about something with water, that's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as I was saying, I usually say this, and it's been a minute. You ain't got to go home, but you definitely got to get the fuck out of here. We're out. I have spoken.
This is the way.
Peace.
Very responsibly.